Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Alex from Brussels Cafe with Coffee Break. So, in this episode, we will have a great pleasure to interview a lot of great volunteers and staff and some Belgian citizens from the Franklin County 4-H Therapeutic Center. With me this evening, we'll have a lot of great volunteers. I would like to introduce you first to the director, real quick.
Hi there.
What is
I'm
your name?
Susan Rotz. I'm the director here. I've been here for 35 years. And Bob Kessler was the 4-H extension agent who was the first one to have the idea to have a therapeutic riding center at 4-H.
And in which year was that?
82 was the idea. It actually started in 1983.
Boy, I feel old. Well,
Yeah,
thank
that's
you
how I've
very
been
much.
here a long time.
All right. Now we're going to present you guys to another amazing assistant barn manager, Miss Sarah.
Hello.
Hey,
I'm
Miss Sarah.
Sarah. I do the feedings Monday through Friday here at the Therapeutic Riding Center. And then we also have volunteers like Shelly, who is back in there, and riders that come and help school the horses, feed, muck stalls, turn out, all that great stuff.
Sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So when did you start it here at the Therapeutic Center, Miss Sarah?
2004.
2004.
Yes.
So you kind of almost grew up here.
Yeah, I've been here for quite a while and seen a lot of changes, seen the program grow. And Kim, how many volunteers do we have now?
Close to 100.
Close to 100 volunteers help run the program and assist the children in their lessons. And right now we have Belle getting harnessed up to do a driving lesson. And we have Mallow in the cross ties here, and he's getting ready to do a riding lesson.
That's pretty exciting. So, Miss Sarah, if I can ask you for a few minutes, so what is the center, this center here, what is the main goal for the center? What does it provide to the community?
It allows a place for children with mental and physical disabilities, including autism, to come and have a chance to learn how to ride, which benefits their physical limitations as well as stimulates them mentally. And some of the kids really start to open up and find their personalities in being able to interact with the horses.
Adults too.
Adults as well, yes. We do allow adults to ride here as well.
So, since you've been here for a very long minute, I assume that you've seen quite a bit of success story coming through that.
Yes, I have. And actually, what these horses do is pretty amazing. I'll just tell a quick story of a horse that used to be a lesson horse over at Wilson College, and he was a terror to ride.
He was a terror to ride.
He was angry. He did not want to be ridden. He did not want to be a lesson horse. And he came here, and I was actually really surprised that we got him as a lesson horse. And I got to teach one of the lessons of a disabled rider, and that horse took care of his rider, and it actually brought tears to my eyes because he stood completely still and let this person groom him, did not move a muscle, let the gentleman who his disability was in his legs, and he actually had to pull himself up on the horse, stood completely still while the gentleman mounted, and then he was perfect in the arena. Every time the gentleman asked him to turn, he turned, he stopped, he did whatever he was asked. And so it's pretty amazing what they do.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. So, how is this center, how does it operate? I was told that this center operates under Penn State, is that correct?
Yes, Penn State, they run, how do you want to say that, Kim? They oversee our program. What did you say, Susan?
They're under the 4-H. It's a 4-H club.
It's a 4-H club, so that's how Penn State is involved.
Okay. So for this center right here, I'm a little bit familiar, as many of you guys know. I love animals of all kind. Besides snake and spider, I'm a little bit scared of those, but I'll be all right. Kitty cats and horses are kind of my bread and butter. You like puppies, I know.
Yeah.
So I know that horses, they take a lot of feed, right? And other supplies needed to have a lot of horses, right? It's not something cheap to handle. So how is this 4-H club operate financially? Because I know it's a nonprofit.
Yes, it is a nonprofit. We do fundraisers. Chicken and Stuff is one of the yearly fundraisers that we do.
Not chicken on waffle, right?
No.
Okay, good to know.
No,
I just want to make that clear.
And that's done through, Kim, is that the Rotary?
Rotary, Knights of Columbus.
And Masonic Lodge.
Okay.
So the Rotary, the Masonic Lodge,
Knights of Columbus.
And a Knight of Columbus. Well, thank you very much for these organizations. That's really awesome from them. So besides that, how else do you guys operate? Do you guys get volunteers maybe to come and work here? Or?
Yes, we do have volunteers that come and help. We are actually looking for a handyman, somebody that's good with
Good looking?
fixing.
Oh, good fixing. I'm sorry.
Good at fixing fences, dragging the arenas, anything that you can think of that we.
Let's have this little guy in the background. That'd be great.
Oh yeah. Anything that you can think of that needs fixing around a farm, we need your help. So if you have a few hours or even just an hour that you would like to donate.
This is not a job application.
No,
Okay.
but I am
So-
totally reaching out.
And it
So-
works for a lot of retired men
Yes.
or women that want just a couple hours, and we don't put them alone. We
Yeah.
have supervision.
So we need help from the community to help continue this program.
So this is, this is definitely understandable because there's so many different roles to be taken care of here. I could understand how, like, if we have maybe 1 or 2 person that would be willing to donate their time and their skill, that could definitely be helpful, right? So
And same thing for the lessons. We have people that help groom the horses, tack them up, side leaders, anything that you can think of that's going to help with the lesson. It's not just the instructor and the student. There's lots of volunteers that come on a busy lesson night. The barn is packed, and we have probably up to 3, maybe 4 volunteers sometimes assisting a lesson. So we definitely need help for that.
So let's say, for example, we have some either young adults or adults with certain types of disability. How do they know if they qualify to come and ride in the center or not?
They could contact Kim
Miss
Batten. They
Hello, Miss
could
Kim.
contact Susan, and they could also contact Carol Hoover. She is our volunteer coordinator, and she would help get the paperwork that needs to go through to see if you qualify for lessons in our therapeutic riding program.
Is there, like, maybe on your website, like some kind of general guidance as well, where they can look up for
There
it?
would be a phone number that you could call on our website, and an email that you should be able to email to.
Okay. So how big is the therapeutic center?
How many acres?
How many acres is the center?
Kim, how many acres? 25 acres.
25 acres.
Yes.
That's huge. So actually, before the live session started, it was actually a lot of fun. I got taken on the ride earlier, about an hour ago, and we went through all 25 acres of it, and believe me, it was a blast. So it's much more bigger than I expected. It's really big. So when you're going through the riding part of it, the center will have different types of station to help the rider to get more involved with the ride, where they'll stop, they'll have some kind of entertaining station, X amount of feet, and it's really interactive. I think it's brilliant. It's really brilliant. And Miss Kim was also telling me that there was that these assets were donated and created locally by a young gentleman from an organization called Abraxas, right? So, hey, should we walk towards the barn over there?
Yeah, go
I'm
see
seeing
what
the
Miss
Belgium
Bell is
lady
doing.
riding around there. You know, it's not every day that we meet Belgian folks around Chambersburg, right? So when I meet one, this is going to be my second. The first one was the puppy that ride with the police car downtown. Now we have a horse. I just need to find another human just like me, and we'll be set. This is actually a very beautiful center. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to turn around the camera. I want you guys to have a feel how the center looks like. So we're having here, before we're getting inside, so this is actually the other side where we're located. We can see sheets on the left, right? And on the other side of the road, that's where they send the fishies, right?
Yeah, the fish hatchery is over
The
there.
fish hatchery, right? So here we'll have an outdoor
Yes.
riding.
This is our wood chip arena, and then in the back there is our sand arena.
I love the flowers, by the way. They're so pretty. So we'll have a wood chip and sand. Now, I heard before, I don't know if it's true, riding a horse in wood chip is very different than in the sand. Is it correct?
Yes, it is very different. The volunteers tend to like the wood chip arena because then they don't get sand in their shoes.
But Hollywood tends to prefer, like, at sunset, usually the beach on a nice Californian, you know.
Yes.
I heard it
we
was
don't-
harder.
We don't have a beach
We
though
don't-
here to practice.
Well, I mean, we do have the trout line, right? It's kind of like
Yes.
Chambersburg
Yeah.
Beach, right?
Yeah,
That's
sure.
awesome. All right, and here we'll have our indoor range. So this is actually a very beautiful indoor range. So let's say in the winter time, can the rider comes also and ride in here in the winter?
Yes.
Or
A lot of our lessons are held in the indoor riding arena during inclement weather. Even in the summertime, if it's raining, we'll have lessons in here.
so how many days a week you guys are doing lessons? Like 5
Monday
days?
through Saturday. We do
Monday
lessons.
through Saturdays.
Yes. Some lessons are in the mornings, and then we usually have lessons in the afternoons throughout the week and into the evening.
That's very awesome. Beautiful horse, beautiful Belgian. So just giving you guys a little quick story here about Belgian horse. That's my 2 cents about knowledge about Belgian horses, right? So growing up in Belgium, Belgian horse were something pretty big, right? And did I told you the story? Why
No.
Belgian horses are so big?
No.
All right, well then I can interrogate you. Let me flip this back around. Let's have some good time. So Miss Sarah, why do you think that Belgian horses are so big?
Oh man.
The true honest answer. I mean, it's not a joke.
Why
Why
are
do you
they
think
so
they were
big?
breeded so bigly?
Well, because they're workhorse.
What kind of work do you think they were breeded for?
Plowing, pulling trees down, beer.
No. Close, but no. So about the late 1800s, right? There is something that was pretty interesting with Belgium. Belgium, then it's very small, right? Like you guys know. In Belgium, there's a lot of. Let me try to say this in English without my French accent. It's very difficult sometimes. A lot of canals,
Yes.
canals,
Canals,
right?
mhm.
Canals, right? But we didn't have semis or truck to move the coal mine and all the stuff back from the coal, right?
Okay.
So they breeded the Belgian horse to be more stronger and be able to handle more, to actually set them up on each sides of the canals with very large ropes, pulling a boat called in French a péniche. And the péniche is a very long cigarette boat that would hold all the stocks of the mine or the woods coming from the Ardennes up to the oceans, right? So they breeded that particular type of horse, and once it's on water and start moving, like the Egyptian did it, it's very, very fast, right? So that's the reason why Belgian horse were breeded so big.
That is interesting. Who knew that today I would learn something about horses?
We
from-
all learn something
from
new every day,
Alex.
right? All right, let's turn this back around. So can you show us maybe the other places, or
Yes,
what
yeah.
are we? What would you like to show us
Yeah,
next?
sure. We can go back into the barn and check out some of the horses.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Let's go see the other
Actually,
horses.
Let's check out the
Sure.
the arena over here so they can see the other arena that we.
This is a very beautiful center, by the way. It's so well kept, so well groomed. It's really impressive. You know, just having volunteers coming up together, supporting such a great program for the children and adults in needs. It's impressive. That's what I talk about, you know, caring for the community. That's what it's about.
So this is our second outdoor arena, and the barrels are set up for the lessons for the students to ride patterns through. And once a year we do hold horse shows, so the students are able to show off their skills that they've learned throughout the year.
Well, when is going to be your next horse show? Do you know?
We were actually supposed to have one this month, but I believe it's been pushed, and I'm not sure of the date. We can get that from Susan, though. She should know the date on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is this facility here used
This
for?
is just a shaded area for the parents to watch as the lessons are going on.
Mm-hmm.
Picnic area. Sometimes on Saturdays, some of the parents will bring lunches and they'll have a picnic.
That's
look
pretty
at that.
awesome.
Here comes Mallow.
Hey, here is Mello.
So this is Mallow getting ready for his lesson, and looks like there is one volunteer with this lesson here. So generally the volunteers will have a couple of jobs depending upon the level of the rider. You can have a sidewalker who will actually stabilize the rider, and then you'll have someone leading the horse, and you may even have somebody on the other side as well. So sometimes there's quite a need for multiple volunteers to assist. This rider has been riding for a couple years and doesn't need as much assistance as some of the others do.
So the most rider actually will walk the parkour with their horse before riding it?
They do that just to get the horse used to the area, make sure they're not going to be silly and before they get on.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the horses are generally very, very calm and really take care of their riders.
That's awesome. Pretty neat. What do you want to go and check out the other barn, and we'll come back when it's riding?
This is actually our equisizer.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm saying hello to the kitty cat. Because you know I'm a
That's
sucker
Miss
for.
Mo.
That's Miss Mo. She's such a cute kitty cat.
This is our equisizer. We've named him Stuart. So the students can actually get on and feel movement. Of course, not as well as what they could on the horse, but it is still a really nice tool for us to have.
This almost sounds like something out of a bull riding movie or something.
Yeah.
Pretty intense.
Covered. So our horses generally will stay out unless they have lessons. So right now the barn is empty except for Leo. This is one of our newer horses. And Leo is very, very sweet. He is a quarter horse. Here, Leo.
So why is he being breeded? What's the number
Oh,
on
that's
his?
a brand.
A brand.
The people that owned him before us did that. He
Oh.
came from out west.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought he came from Belgium, seeing a V on his chest. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not a fan of branding horses. I think they're cute without it. Are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying it? Yeah, I know you're enjoying it. A little scratchy.
So a lot of the horses that come to us are not actually ready to be a part of the program, and they have to undergo training to make sure that they are comfortable with an unbalanced rider. As a lot of these horses are used to being ridden by experienced people, and then when they get someone on them who, you know, is making loud
unexperienced.
noises and
Right.
flapping their hands, that can be very intimidating to them. So sometimes they'll go through months or even a whole year before they're actually ready to go into lessons.
I'm guessing that really depends on each horse's capabilities and
Yes.
background as well, right?
Yes,
Right.
It does, it does. And we have Cadbury down here. This is our pony. So she is used for smaller children, but she is just oh so cute.
Hello. So cute. You gave me a big licking. All right, big licking. So how young was the youngest students you guys ever had?
I want to say that it's probably 8.
8
But
years
we
old.
would have to check with Susan, because I think there is a restriction on how young they can be.
Right.
And we can actually walk into the foyer area.
Yeah, sure.
And this week is Volunteer Appreciation Week. So for all of our volunteers, we just try and give them a small thank you, some gifts and cookies and snacks. And we have our board here, which has different postings. And this was actually published in the public opinion of Susan, our autism instructor with our horse Rose. This trying to see when the date was. 2016.
So it's 36 years already of Therapeutic Center. That's pretty awesome.
Yes.
So this is going to be the whole week for
volunteers.
the volunteers. Well, what I'm thinking Brussels Cafe, they get on that and get some special treats. Yeah, there we go. We're back on live.
Okay.
So this is going to be the tack room.
Yes. So these are all the saddles that we have and bridles. And we
So
actually,
where do you guys get most of the saddles and equipment? Is it being donated to
a
you
lot
guys?
of them are
or-
donations, yes. And sometimes if we don't have saddles that fit the horses, then we actually need to take money out of our funds to purchase the saddles. And we do have a saddle fitter come every year. Hi Annette, if you're watching. who is great, and she will custom fit every saddle to the horse to make sure that they have great fit.
That's pretty awesome. So in terms of like gear wise, do you guys think that there's something that you guys are in need right now, or you guys are pretty stacked?
I know we just actually got a new saddle donated this past week, which was fantastic. We are always in need of water to keep the students hydrated in the summertime, and cat food for all of our barn kitties. So those are always pluses if anyone wants to drop things off, like paper towels, toilet paper. All those things are great, easy things that you can drop off. But as far as tack, it's really difficult because a lot of people think, oh, I've got a saddle, I'll give it to the therapeutic center.
That doesn't mean they may fit the horse.
Exactly.
Right. No, it makes sense. It makes sense. More like general items are easier to incorporate and to use, right?
Yes.
So, maybe let's go see if somebody's writing real quick. Does anybody has any question? I think we have 3 watchers right now. The beauty of Coffee Break with Alex, being the first episode right now, is the fact that we really want to be able to penetrate more the community and be able to support the small organization. Not saying that the therapeutic center is small, but in a way they are, because they're a non-profit organization that self-sustain themselves. And so we want to take the opportunity to inform our followers and also the online presence to make sure that they can have a broader reach and see if we can get involved in helping them out in our own ways or any way that they need and that we can assume, right? So that is what Coffee Break with Alex is. Now every month is going to be a different types of organization and company, and the time will vary on the episode as well, right? So here we're having somebody writing. So how many years you were saying this writer has been doing?
I think she said 7 or 8.
7 years. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Doing much more better than I could.
Yeah, they. It's really interesting because the riders will have their favorite horses and ones that they click with a lot better, and they'll request to ride those horses. But it's really nice to see, as anyone who is a rider can appreciate a horse that takes care of the rider that's on their back, and that's what these guys do.
You mean like cooperating? This is not the Horse Whisperer movie?
No. But they do help with their balance if they feel them getting a little off balance. Some of the horses will kind of scoot underneath and help keep them on. So yeah, it's pretty cool what they do.
That's pretty cool.
Yep, and this is Mallow. This is, I think I've said that earlier on, but yeah, this is
it's
Mallow.
very, very pretty horse. Yeah, so in total, how many horses are we having here at the center?
It changes, but I believe
I think
it's about 13.
12, 13,
12
right?
or 13,
And
yeah.
most of them right now are on the upper field.
Yes, we have three fields that the horses go out in right now, and we have
great.
one that's resting.
So where do you guys get most of the food from the horse? Like meaning the hay?
The hay, we have a local hay supplier that we buy our hay from, and then we also buy the horse feed locally. Yes.
That's pretty cool. So a young lady like Miss Bell, the Belgian horse, I'm guessing she must eat a lot of grain.
Actually, she's an easy keeper. She gets 1 pound of a vitamin mineral supplement once a day is all she gets.
1 pound.
1 pound.
Are you sure it's not cheaper to get a horse than a kitty cat? No, I'm kidding.
But say Mallow here, he eats 8 pounds a day.
8 pounds a day.
Yes.
Yet is about half the size of Bell.
Yes. It just
Now, is
depends
there a
on-
reason for that?
Different type of horse. Generally, the draft horses are pretty easy keepers unless they are in really hard work. Mallow is older, so he needs more calories. He doesn't absorb his food as well, so he needs a little bit more to keep his weight on. So we've got horses. A lot of them here are on just 1 pound a day of a supplement, and then we have a couple older ones that need some more.
You told me earlier too, before we finish the session here, that you guys will have a session here pretty soon called a horse show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what is the horse show about?
The horse show allows the students from that session to show off their skills that they've learned throughout the year or through that session if they've only done one session. And sometimes the shows will consist of patterns around the barrels, and then other times the riders will be doing dressage tests, which are patterns, and they have to follow. It's probably a 4 to 5 minute test that they actually have to do. So it really helps them with their memory skills and then being able to execute the movements at a certain letter.
Now, I heard earlier, I don't know if it was true or not, that not everybody is allowed to come and ride here, right?
Correct, yes.
What if somebody would come and volunteer maybe like 5-6 hours a week?
Yes, if you are a volunteer and you are putting in your time, we do offer riding lessons with our instructor, Kim Batten.
That sounds like a pretty good deal to me.
Yeah.
Now, is there a special age restriction for that, or can, let's say, a parent come and volunteer and the kiddo come and ride, or?
That would need to be discussed with Kim or Susan.
Good time.
I'm actually not really sure. I think it's the volunteer themselves that are actually doing.
We gotta put kiddos to work.
Yes, yes.
Sounds good. So when do you think is gonna be the horse show?
I believe it was supposed to be this month, and it will probably be in the next month or so. We usually have a summer one.
So is it is there's an entrance fee for the horse show?
No, it's all free. It comes with your lessons, and we encourage the community to come out and support the students and cheer them on as they're riding their patterns or their tests. And we also, I just thought of something, we also do once a year, we offer pony rides and carriage rides to the community.
Awesome.
So you can come for any type of donation that you want to give to the program and have a pony ride or a carriage ride, and there's usually face painting. So definitely be on the lookout for that.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely need to talk with Miss Kim, see if there's anything we can support you guys, even with the horse show.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe we
that would
can
be
make
great.
it bigger than last year and maybe raise some funds for the center as well at the same time.
That would be awesome.
Right? So, all right. Well, thank you so much, Miss Sarah,
Thank
for your
you.
time. It was definitely a pleasure. A lot of fun. Learned a lot today. Who knew that right behind Lincoln Highway was an amazing center like this, right?
And I believe
Who
if
knew?
we have just a few more minutes, Belle is all hitched up to the carriage. We can see her
Oh, let's go see Belle one more time.
pulling her carriage.
Because, you know, it's a Belgian thing, right? We cannot say, you know, leave without saying goodbye, right? She'll be upset at me. Ooh, I even see you guys carrying geese.
Yes, we do have quite a few Canadians.
Are those riding too, or
No.
those just purely for entertainment?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to come through here.
Oh, that's a good
All
idea.
right.
No, I don't think they're going out yet.
Oh. Oh, that's
Mel-
right. Susan's out
Yeah,
there.
Susan's out there and Mallory
Morgan
doesn't
is
like
our
the
driving instructor.
This almost looked just like the Budweiser commercial.
Yeah.
Not that I like Budweiser, I prefer Belgian beer, but she's a prettier one. Look at that. So pretty.
Yeah, so I'd love to invite people out to come out and check us out and see what we do and see how you can get involved.
And so right before leaving, right? So people can find you guys where on Facebook?
Yes, we have a Facebook account, which hopefully